Good morning. Hi, everybody. How you doing? It's your buddy, Uncle Bruce here for Monday, October the 3rd, 2022. And you might notice a new green screen behind me to give you the illusion that I have moved into yet another location where, in reality, you all know I'm still in Creston. I'm still in that living room in Creston. We haven't moved anywhere. Anyway, for those of you who are, into the illusion, we have moved to another secret location here in Calgary to avoid being detected. You know how it is when you're a celebrity. You got to be on your best, radar all the time. Keep away from the paparazzi, all the intrusions. All is well. Jen and I are in a. I'll give you a hint. We're in a pretend two-bedroom condo and very roomy. And we don't have to go downstairs for breakfast at a set time every day. We now, well, we can make our own breakfast. We actually bought groceries. Unbelievable. We bought groceries. We were at Costco on Saturday when we were in between secret locations, and we had to buy stuff. I hadn't done that in well, a while. The last time we bought stuff would have been April, May of last year. This year, I should say. Like this is the 10th month, so that would have been 6 months ago. It's true. We really haven't had to buy food for a residence since we were in our friend's house, babysitting their house, because we left for Europe in May, didn't come back to Canada until middle of July, and then since then until now, we have been living in really just hotel type units. And here we are. I mean, it's unbelievable, isn't it? And so here we are for a little while, and we're plotting our next moves as we speak. A number of them are evolving right now. I'll let you know when we know, you'll know. And one of the moves that we're plotting is, of course, we're organizing and right now in the middle of a lot of logistics. Jennifer's pending, cross your fingers, hip operation that's being organized. We have a few more. We'll have more answers tomorrow than today, actually. So I'm quite excited, and we're quite looking forward to how all this is going to play out. So welcome to the party, everybody. It's Monday, Monday, October the 3rd, and it's all we're good. We're hanging in there, although the Steelers lost yesterday, and that wasn't a good thing. But I keep my distance and don't bring it up. Yikes! Thank you for joining me here today. We're up a little bit on the markets. What we do here is we talk about the markets in plain English. At least I try to, and then talk to you about writing options and making money in the market. Good news: the option game continues. We're up 217 on the Dow so far, with about an hour to go before we start trading, and we're up 23 on the S&P. And I see here Nasdaq is up 38 points. This is about a third of a point for Nasdaq, 2/3 of a point gain for S&P, and 3/4 of a percentage point gain for the Dow so far in the pre-market. Can the markets hold these gains? And if they do, how long? If they don't, how quickly do they falter? Is this a dead cat bounce from a 500-point drop on Friday that is going to last, an hour, and then we're going to give it all back? Or are we going to see sort of a wishy-washy, okay opening, a few hundred points higher, and then a slow, steady deterioration as the day wears on? Because where is the wave of buying coming to take this market to another level, right? That is the question. I'm writing down a couple of things today, just so that I don't forget. I want to talk to you about, and something just popped back into my head, so I had to write that down. Yes, groceries. Oh my gosh, what a surprise to buy groceries for the first time in 6 months. Prices have gone up. Rather amazing to see, but you have to pay it because you got to eat. What about this Kim Kardashian thing? Boy, I'll tell you, as an influencer, people look to me as an influencer, on social media. I mean, Kim Kardashian was paid $250,000 to mention a cryptocurrency of some kind. Um, Apparently, she did what she was contracted to do with the currency crypto outfit. She failed to mention, however, in her Instagram posts that while she was promoting this stuff, she didn't mention she was being paid to do so. And the SEC went, you can't do that. That is a no no. And they launched an investigation, and they decided to fine her, and she's agreed to pay a fine of $1.25 million plus interest for the indiscretion. I just want all the sponsors out there to know that you can always contact me about $250,000 promotional deals. Just my email's down below. Just send me a message. Let me know that you'd like to pay me $250,000 to promote, you know, and I'll look it over. And if it fits my lifestyle and fits my my morals, maybe we can make a deal. But if you're asking me to promote something that I really don't believe in, could be a tough sell. You might have to pay me 500,000. So let me know. Just at this point, um, I haven't had any $250,000 offers for any promotional product. As a matter of fact, I haven't had any offers to promote anything for money. I get these offers all the time. I mean, there's so many of them are bogus. It's incredible how much junk mail I get. But I get offers who are like, "Would you like? You can order one of our products if you mention it. We'll give you like this if you mention that." And I'm just not interested in that kind of stuff at all. And of course, there have been a few examples and a few instances of entities contacting me to perhaps promote their situation. But I just look at this and I just go, I don't think so. I don't think my viewers would be very impressed if I were to start promoting kind of stuff. So I don't promote anybody. I don't have a sponsorship deal with anyone, but I'm willing to listen. And so if Tesla would like me to promote Teslas and I get a Tesla out of the deal, maybe we can work a deal. But hey, I'm open to ideas. You guys just let me know, and what can I say? I'll do the best I can. All right, thank you, everybody. Doing the best I can with what I haven't got. Thank you all so much. Thank you all for joining me today. It's great to see you here. A couple of things more to talk to you about. First of all, crude oil is up about $3 today, 396 a barrel this morning in the futures market for Texas delivery. Rumor has it, stories are being promoted by OPEC members, and believe me, they are promoting this story. Don't think that OPEC countries aren't talking about this. They are hyping up their oil meeting that's coming up, I guess, in Vienna. They're going to talk about the idea of having a 1 million barrel a day production cutback to raise prices. Now, let's just cut to the quick. Okay, let's those of us in Canada and America, Europe, countries that are generally speaking democracies, one man, one vote. Okay, so let's kind of check out the situation. Let's take the lay of the land, as we like to say it. Like what's the situation we're in right now? We have the Russians who have invaded Ukraine and are getting their butts handed to them, which is great to see. But they've caused a lot of problems, war crimes, and many other issues. But they got to find those Nazis. Where are the Nazis? Where are the Nazis? Everyone's asking. The Russians need a higher price for oil and natural gas for them to fund the special military operation they're funding. And they need black market places to sell their stuff so they can bring this cash in. OPEC is thinking of cutting production by 1 million barrels a day. uh, they want the price of oil to go up, which will help the Russians dramatically. I mean, it will make one hell of a difference. Um, these OPEC countries look to the United States and other democracy countries for opportunities to do business. And you go to certain OPEC countries and you notice they have all these skyscrapers, luxury condos and hotels and resorts and a very high, nice standard living. Again, some OPEC countries, not all, some OPEC countries, the money goes in and goes to the palace, whoever that occupant of the palace is, and then the funds get distributed out from there. You might notice though that some of these OPEC countries really don't. They really don't hit your top 10 list of where you want to vacation every year. Certain countries you wouldn't want to step foot in, no matter what, because the average population is so desperate and so hungry and so, motivated that if they could kidnap a Westerner, they'd do it because they're not getting any of the money from OPEC money. I mean, not getting oil money. That oil money gets absorbed by the top 5% of the hierarchy of these entities. The remaining 95% starve, and there you go. Anyway, so these folks all together, OPEC as a group, whether they're doing very well financially and have a nice middle class group out there, and education and health, they're being funded by those entities, those countries that buy their product. And who buys most of the oil produced by OPEC nations? And by and large, yeah, China and Japan and the Koreas and Indonesia and United States and somewhat Canada, but South American countries, African countries, and Europe. Um, and these folks gleefully take the money and pump the oil like crazy, put it on, sea-bearing oil tankers and deliver it around the world. The problem is that the tighter supplies get, the more expensive the product gets for the Western world, which makes it much more difficult for the Western world to get by, which means higher inflation, which means the third world gets really crushed. I mean, let's face it, that's true. But it helps the Russians dramatically. And, the Russians have friends in OPEC, very close friends in OPEC, Iran being one of them. Didn't President Biden go to Saudi Arabia personally to shake the hand of the guy that chopped up that Wall Street Journal reporter into pieces in Turkey and then, left with gym bags full of body parts? Not him personally, but his pals. Didn't he go shake that guy's hand, that prince's hand, to in front of cameras, and then had a chat about maybe you guys can produce a little more oil to kind of ease the pressure a little on the Western world. We are right now trying to stop the Russians from slaughtering Ukrainians out of existence. That didn't seem to work too well, did it? And now we hear it's getting worse with a million barrel a day oil cut being proposed. It should be interesting. You kind of figure out quickly, don't you, who your friends are? I mean, really, who's your buddy and who isn't? I just am amazed that these fiefdoms, quote unquote, get so much special treatment. I really, maybe we shouldn't be so nice to them anymore. Maybe we should be not nice. And I don't know, just don't do business with them as much. We'll buy some oil from you, but you can't buy our jet fighters. You can't buy our personnel carriers. You can't buy our missile systems. You can't buy, because after all, who can you trust? I mean, anyway, I heard something else today that was interesting. I heard that in the last 5 years, 10 years, this is really interesting. Sorry, I just hit my leg on the table here. Really interesting little story. It seems that in the last 5, 10 years, there have been multiple contracts signed between the United States, the U.S. Let's put it this way: the U.S. energy industry, which is predominantly liquefied natural gas producers and wannabe exporting companies. And Chinese companies that have signed long-term contracts to buy liquefied natural gas from the United States. And this has allowed a number of liquefied natural gas export terminals, this is a long word, to be built on the East Coast and the West Coast of the United States, maybe even the Gulf Coast. Now, what this has allowed to happen is that because these companies have signed long-term 25-year natural gas supply contracts, liquefied natural gas supply contracts with these Chinese importers into China, it has given the liquid natural gas suppliers the ability to go to bankers and borrow the money necessary to build these facilities, which are a lot of money. And the bankers are very comfortable because going, yep, China needs liquefied natural gas big time. They want to get off coal eventually as well. They really do. But they got to, when you have a 1.3 billion population country, it takes a while to kind of shift it. And you got to find the resources and supplies of whatever you need to do what you need to do. Now, the Trump administration was all behind this, like big time, very much promoting this because they were looking to help the industry. They're helping the natural gas and oil and gas industry flourish, keep the carbons going. And so through those years, and now here we are, another year or two later, gas is being exported to many countries, including China. It's not just a China-only buyer. They're not the only buyers of this stuff. This is going to a number of countries, including European countries. But now we hear, the article came out today, this is really interesting to me anyway, that apparently of all the liquid natural gas that's being made available to the Chinese buyers, they don't need as much right now. The Chinese are drowning in liquefied natural gas. They got tons of it. They're even selling, liquefied natural gas to other countries, but they're reselling the American natural gas to, for example, European buyers. Now, you've heard the war in Ukraine. I've mentioned it a few times. There's a natural gas shortage over there. Have you heard that? There's some pipelines from Russia that aren't working too well right now. And the Russians have selectively cut off Western countries from natural gas as a punishment for helping this Nazi-based country called the Ukraine. And so you can't have natural gas from Russia. And so European countries are trying to buy natural gas from wherever they can get it to replace the supply of cheap Russian gas. The Chinese are sending tankers to the United States, especially on the East Coast, picking up liquefied natural gas and shipping it to Europe for a markup. And it's great. It's a great business. You got this American gas that you have as a contract buy for. You have a contract with the Americans to get it at a nice price. And then they're delivering these massive container ships full of liquefied natural gas to Belgium, the Netherlands, UK, Italy, Spain, Portugal, any buyer over there. And they're selling it at the world price, which is being jacked up because Russia is cutting off the supply of gas. You see the game that's going on here? It's a sweet little deal. And the American producers are going, well, deal's the deal, contract's the contract. We gotta deliver gas to our facilities here, and we have to deliver so much gas every month under our contract. There's nothing I can do about it. And the Chinese folks are going, well, a lot of it is going to China, like we said it would. I mean, we need so much gas, but not as much as we thought we needed because we're having a little bit of a what's the word we're looking for here in China? We're having a little issue with a slight overabundance of housing that we've been building, along with bridges and shopping malls and office towers and 45-story condo buildings. We have a few more than we need right now. So we don't need all the gas today as we thought we would need 5 years ago. But, it's okay. We'll take the gas. We'll buy the natural gas because it's at a discount. We'll figure out what to do with it. Oh, they figured it out. Oh, they have figured it out. Yeah, they're selling it to the Europeans at a massive markup per shipload. It's incredible to me. It is just the ridiculousness of it all is what blows my mind. During the Second World War, which, those of you who weren't around, and I wasn't around, apparently it lasted from like 1939 when it sort of started in Europe and Indonesia until about 1945 or so. So it was like a 6 year thing. America got attacked at Pearl Harbor in 41 and then was in the war for 4 years. The United States was only in the Second World War for 4 years. But when it was in the war for 4 years, um, everyone in the United States paid a price. Standard of living, ration cards, restrictions on travel, all kinds of It was the war. It was called the war effort. Okay, the United States today and Canada, Britain, Europe, we're at war right now. We really are. It's a proxy war, mind you. We're using Ukrainians to fight a war on behalf of us against the Russians, who are personally involved. They couldn't find a proxy army to fight on their behalf. In this case, they're fighting it themselves. The Chinese are fighting us in a war using Russia as the proxy country to fight Ukrainians, but the Chinese are supplying Russians with raw materials to help them, work the war. Um, but we're not. There is no war effort in North America or in Europe. None of us are restricted from doing anything. We can buy tires for our cars. You couldn't buy tires for your cars during the Second World War. We could buy a new car today. If it's in stock, we can buy it. We couldn't even buy a new car in the Second World War. There weren't any made in the war years. Every factory in the United States was now commandeered by the United States government for the war effort. And so Ford made tanks, GM made planes, on and on and on. The good news is the United States and Canada won the war. The Brits, the Canadians, America, we won the war and benefited dramatically afterwards, economically, and after a lot of money being spent, get those GIs home and retrain them and let them have kids and let's go. But today there is no war effort. There's no sacrifice being asked of anyone. The United States has had troops in Afghanistan, Iraq, been fighting all kinds of problems, fighting all kinds of terroristic type problems. Thousands of loyal people going to these hotspots around the world on behalf of America. But Americans in general are not, not paying a big price. Canadians, we sent troops to Afghanistan. We were involved in Desert Storm, and Canada was involved some logistics with Iraq, but Afghanistan, definitely Canada had troops there and lost guys and girls, many wounded. But as a general country, we didn't, as an average individual, we didn't pay any kind of a price. No rationing of food. The biggest sacrifice, and maybe that's the wrong word, the biggest price North Americans have paid and other countries have paid in the last couple of years for anything has been because of the virus, which some people call a hoax and it doesn't exist. But the virus has caused economic issues, has given economic possibilities to people, but has also created massive issues. And yet the Western world has found a way to get around it or get through it. And viewers of this channel have, in many cases, allowed their lives to completely change because of the virus in a direct or indirect way. And I find that to be fascinating. My life has completely changed because of the virus. Without the virus, one, I wouldn't be here doing this on this channel. This channel got a direct or an indirect spin-off effect of the virus because of all the folks who are stuck at home, who are now trading on their platforms, stocks, and one of them was GameStop. And that, connection to connection changed my life. And you can probably all draw a line yourselves in your own unique way. But as of right now, there's a proxy war going on that didn't exist a year ago, that exists now big time in Ukraine. And the United States government is now passing a bill to what's called a continuing resolution to keep the government open through the election. of which 12 something billion dollars additional is going to the effort in Ukraine. And so the war will continue. It is being funded by the Americans and other G20 countries. And 20, 25 billion more in aid will come into Ukraine the next few months, 4 billion, a billion a week, like about a billion a week. And the Russians' butts will continue to be kicked as long as they are as dysfunctional as they seem to be. Fascinating, isn't it? Absolutely fascinating how this works. But unfortunately, that effort, that campaign, has had worldwide ripple effects on all kinds of problems, and one of them is grain deliveries and the displacement of millions of people, and many, many other issues. But I'll leave it at that. Tesla. I want to talk about Tesla for a minute. Tesla announced, or yeah, I guess they announced their quarterly production of vehicles for the final latest quarter, and they were ramping back up again after the supply chain nightmares in Shanghai. They're ramping up their Berlin factory. They're getting Austin, Texas going. But they're short of the numbers that were expected. Analysts expected more cars to be delivered this past quarter than actually were. And the quarter coming up, the company seems to be indicating they may not reach the number that certain analysts had kind of hoped or expected. And so analysts' targets are not being fully met on the Tesla front, which means Tesla shares are under pressure this morning. They're right now 254.08, down 11.07. They were down to 250 for a bit. And I mention it for you, or to you, especially for those of you out there who are writing options on Tesla. There's a few of you here doing this. The premiums are pretty nice. The stock is split 3-for-1, so it's a little more affordable for some of you. Although to buy deep in the money calls is next to impossible, I think, on Tesla, because the premiums are so high. However, for those of you who have written calls on Tesla, it's rinse and repeat day. You've been doing this already for a little while. You're going to continue to do it. Same with you GameStop people. You've been doing this as well. The rinse and repeat game had been that when the stock drops, what do? You buy back calls you've written and write new calls to replace the old calls for more money than you just bought the old calls for. Because in theory, the calls you wrote last week should be lower in value today, allowing you to buy them at a nice discount, turn around and write new calls that might be slightly lower on the exercise price because the stock has dropped, and or slightly longer in time from maybe this Friday to next Friday or the Friday after that. The whole point of this game is whatever money you're paying to buy a call back, you want to sell the new call for a lot more money. And you are bringing cash into your account and being compensated as the shares drop in price. And if they want to stay down here a while, the calls you're writing today, the new calls, will depreciate just like they always do. The calls, you want to be writing slightly out of the money calls for time premium only, which means all of that can disappear and stay in your account, in theory. And we continue on. That is the name of the game. Now, this morning on GameStop, I'm noticing the stock's 25.55 this morning. And so that's up 42 cents at the moment on 42,900 shares. I don't know what the story is as to why it's doing this. If anyone has a thought or knows exactly what's causing GameStop to trade a slight bit higher, do let me know. But I have no idea. Is this a great, huge, phenomenal move? No, the Dow's up 300 points in the pre-market. So why wouldn't GameStop be up 40 cents? I mean, why not? Fair enough. Will it last? There is the question. And now we'll see what's going on. Okay. That's that topic. I wanted to cover that. Oil, I've covered for you already. My thoughts on oil. This is a promotional deal by speculators and OPEC to get hyped up on the future of oil, like it's going to go somewhere. It is not going anywhere from a supply chain issue. If there were problems in oil, we would have lineups at every gas station all over the world, and there aren't. I will admit, in Western Canada, the Western US, we've got higher prices for oil. Guess why? Anybody know? Anybody want to put their hand up? Have you heard of the hurricanes lately hitting the US? Fiona, and then that one hit Eastern Canada. Refineries are in Eastern Canada. They're offline. Have you heard about the hurricane ripping up Florida and the Carolinas? There's issues there. And apparently, we have, at the same time all this is going on, we have some refineries that are switching from summer blend gasoline to winter blend gasoline. That means those are your annual maintenance shutdown games that they play to keep the prices up at the retail level. This is compounding everything. So right now we have a rise in the price of gasoline at the retail level. People are going, why is my gas up $1 a gallon? It makes no sense. Doesn't make any sense except if you're the refineries and the retailers. The winners are, of course, the Exxons of the world, who have total vertical integration. They find the product, they pull it out of the ground, they refine it, they produce all kinds of chemicals from it, including gasoline, gasolines, diesels, and sell that to the world, including jet fuel, and they mark it up at the retail level in their own retail locations. And so a barrel of crude comes out of the ground and a gallon of gas goes in your gas tank. It's Exxon product from the beginning to the end. And every nickel they collect at all these levels is to them. And it's a wonderful business when you own it all. And when the United States government does not interfere with your vertical integration, where you control the entire market from producing it, finding the product, producing the product, getting it out of the ground, refining it, and retailing it. If the United States government does not feel that this is some kind of a conflict of interest, life is good in America. And all you have to do now is keep bribing your politicians, who are your pals, through super PACs to keep everything just the way it is, and don't change anything. And certainly do not bring in legislation out that's going to muck up this little game, because we have shareholders and we make charitable contributions to people. We're good guys. There you go. Okay, beautiful. Everybody's happy. No problem. There's nothing to see here. There's nothing to see here. That blood over there, that's just Kool-Aid colored red. That's just red colored. Don't worry about this. Just go about your business. Okay. Another sign of a slowing economy, as your old man here rants away. Another sign of a slowing economy. Luxury home sales. I know that all of you are either in the luxury home sale business or you're about to be, because of all the money you're making writing options. So you need to know this. All right. So if you're in the market for a $2, $4, $6, $8, $10 million house, here's the scoop. Okay. Luxury home sales have dropped off dramatically. It's to the point where agents are saying, we're having an open house on Saturday and no one comes to look at the house. It's called crickets, the sound of crickets. And apparently luxury home sales have dropped by 28% already this year, and are dropping faster than that. This is just kind of from the beginning year to now. From now to the end of the year, it'll probably be 80% less. The reason is varied, but the number one reason is higher interest rates. The second reason, a huge supply of luxury houses are for sale. A whole bunch of them are available all of a sudden. There was a shortage earlier this year and last year. There were bidding wars going on for luxury houses last year. That's over. There were also, by the way, bidding wars for mid-priced homes and lower-priced homes. There was like a bidding war, as many of you probably know personally. Some of you who sold your homes last year went, I can't believe how much money I got for my house. Or you know someone that sold their house, a relative, a friend, a coworker, and you're just going, a neighbor just down the street sold their house. They had it out there for $450,000, sold for $550,000. I couldn't believe it. Those days are over. That has stopped dead in its tracks at every level. But I read something else today that I found really interesting. Oh, by the way, the very rich, it's not like they don't have the money to buy a luxury house. A $5 million house buyer has cash. All right. They're going, I'm not paying $5 million now. I'm going to pay $4 million for the same house. So when the price comes down, I'll buy it. And the holders of these homes are trying to hang on and wait and wait and wait. And that's the stalemate going on right now. There's houses for sale. There's demand for luxury houses, but the price points are different. So let's see how that plays out. But coming back to mid-level homes, these homes in this, let's say 500,000 to 1.5 million neighborhood, just before we get into the luxury category. I know that in San Francisco, a $1.5 million house is a bungalow. I know that. But in certain parts of the United States, a $1.5 million house is a mansion. So cut me some slack. I'm an old man and it's Monday morning. Look, what's going on now, apparently, a number of builders that produce a lot of houses have had a whole bunch of contracts fall by the wayside on sales they negotiated a year ago, 6 months ago. A whole bunch of folks out there who wanted a $1 million house, an $800,000 house, a $700,000 house, have found that they can't complete the buy. They don't qualify for the mortgage, or they don't have the down payment that they were supposed to have because they can't get rid of their house to get the new house, or they've just changed their minds entirely. What's going on here is rather than these homes get half done and then stop and become abandoned construction sites, the homes are being completed to full completion because the builders of these homes have found Plan B. They have another plan to deal with an issue just like this, where you're building 120 homes, you had 80 sold, 40 that were going to be on the market, hopefully sell soon. And of the 80 that you've sold, 60 have fallen by the wayside. You've only got 20 sold. And you now have 100 homes that are going to be completed with no buyer. Builders cannot carry completed homes on lots in that magnitude. They have to liquidate. Normally, what you would see happen in that scenario is for sale signs all over the place. Realtors would just be having a field day with a bunch of new listings. Problem is, the realtors would have a new listing, 10 listings, 50 listings, no buyers, and down go the prices. However, there's a new game in town, and it's called investor groups that have created corporations that specialize in buying properties and renting houses out. So a brand new house gets built and gets rented. It never hits the market for sale. It's not for sale. It's being rented right off the get. That market is still very good. And there are investment outfits out there who are going to the builders and vice versa, builders coming to the investment group saying, hey, I got 100 houses just outside of Austin, Texas, Dallas, Atlanta, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, everywhere. I have 100 houses. And I got 50, I got 30, I got 250, I got a whole bunch, we got houses. And these investment groups are being offered these homes in bulk at up to 20 to 30% off what you and I would pay for one house. So if the builder were to put the house on the market, it might be $1 million house. The group that's buying 100 of these houses is paying $750, $725, $700, $800,000 cash. They've got the money. They're buying these homes in bulk and they're turning around and renting them out. And they're getting top dollar in rent because people don't want to buy right now because they need a mortgage and they can't afford that. They don't want to afford or have to afford the new mortgage rate that we now know is 7%, was 6% a month ago. It's now 7%, and we know it's going to be 8% starting next month with the next interest rate rise. Could be 8.5%, 9% 6 months from now if we keep raising rates. Who wants to lock themselves in for a 5-year deal on say a $700,000 mortgage on $1 million house? I mean, they're going to be sitting there going, I can't pay $1 million for this house because it could depreciate down to $700,000, which is my mortgage. And my mortgage lender will say to me next year, a year and a half later, 2 years later, hey, listen, I noticed you're paying your mortgage on time, and we love that. We appreciate it. But we're just looking at that neighborhood of yours, and your house is worth like $700,000, and you owe us $700,000. We need, under the terms and conditions of your mortgage loan, you got to have 20% equity here at all times. We need you to cough up 140 grand. Give it to us, and we'll redo the mortgage at 560,000. Your payments will be lower. Hey, you just got to come up with 140,000 fresh cash. Where are you going to get that from, by the way, right? I don't know. This has been the issue. So now the buyers don't want to do that game. They don't want to commit themselves to buying under those terms and conditions. It's kind of smart, isn't it? So what do? Well, they rent it. I'll just rent. I need a house for my family and whatever. We were looking to buy $2 million houses 2 years ago. You know what? We're going to rent a house that's $1 million house. And guess what, though? We can rent a house in this neighborhood over here or over there. It's a brand new house. There's no scratches on the walls. The appliances are all new under warranty. Everything's brand new. So we'll sign a 2-year lease to rent a brand new house. And that just keeps everything in check. Maybe we have an old house we're still trying to sell in Illinois. We'll buy the new house here in Arizona or Texas or Florida or a mile from where we were. I don't know. We'll rent our old house. We'll rent the new house. And there's that game going on. I mean, we can rent our old house for $2,000 a month. We'll rent this new house for $2,500 a month or $3,000, whatever the number is. That's what's going on out there. Very interesting article. Now, this works well for everybody as long as everything stays kind of where we're at. Where it becomes undone is when someone's sitting on $5 million cash, an entity, an individual, whatever it is. And the entity that has $5 million, whether it's a person or a corporation, has a choice to make. And the choice is this. You can either put your money, $5 million, into a US Treasury bond for, say, 10 years and get, say, an 8% interest rate from the US government. Or you can put your $5 million into a company that buys homes to rent them and will pay you a 5% dividend or give you a preferred share or a common share in the company, combination, like an option to buy some stock in the company, plus an interest rate. But if you have $5 million and you can get 9% or 8.5% from the US government, and you can't get a better deal than that from someone else with a lot of guarantees on the security of the money, you might decide to give your money to the United States government for that deal. You might put it into an ETF that has a bunch of government AAA bonds in it and let the ETF handle all the logistics of which bonds to buy and sell and hold and whatever. You're just getting a yield. When the competition for cash gets to that level, where private enterprise is competing with governments for cash, housing prices go lower, because now what happens is these outfits that would normally buy these homes in bulk from the builders aren't there anymore. And the builders are sitting on inventory. It just keeps coming because builders have to keep building. And now the builders are going, okay, last year we built 500 houses. This year we're building 200 because we can always sell 200. And all of a sudden we can only sell 50 of them. And we can't sell the other 150 as easily as we thought, as quickly as we thought. And we have a commitment here on land that we either build on it or lose the land, because we got to get this stuff moving. We got to keep building, and we got to get rid of these 150 homes. And the buyers that we thought would be there, these rental agency outfits, they're stocked up. They're up to here in houses, and they've run out of fresh cash. They can't buy as much as they used to. And or they're offering us half the price of the house rather than 80% of the price of the house, or 75%. We got to list them ourselves. And so now houses come up on the market, open market. And the rental companies are sitting there going, we rented this brand new $1 million house, and many others more, between $500,000 and $1.5 million. We rented thousands of these houses. And the rental contracts are coming up next year, like in 6 months, 8 months, 3 months, that we have to talk about renewing rents. The thing is that if these folks who were going to buy a house decided not to buy a house, decided to rent a house, but they're still looking, and guess what they're seeing now? They're seeing prices of the house they're renting available for $700,000 on the open market from builders. In other words, brand new $1 million homes are available for sale for $700,000 that these folks are renting at $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month. They're going to sit there and go, well, you know what? We've got $200,000 in cash. You know, we got this dough, or we sold our house in Illinois finally 3 months ago. You know, we got a couple $100,000 out of there. We could buy this other house for $700,000, which is a brand new house, and get out of this 2-year-old house we've been living in as renters. It's been a nice house, but we're just renters and it's money just gone. Why don't we now make the move and go and buy that house? And they'll go to bankers who will say, we'd love to give you a mortgage on this house because no one is coming through our door to borrow money for anything. You got 20% down? Oh yeah, we'll sell you that. We'll do a mortgage for you. Yeah, no problem. And so these folks leave the rental market and go to the I own a house market. And they're thinking, we're in for $700,000. There's any kind of recovery in this economy and in the housing market. Guess what house goes to $1 million first? The one we're in. It'll be worth $1 million in 3 or 4 years. And we paid $700,000. We only go $560 against it. We have equity galore. Thank you very much. Isn't that 101 business? Of course it is. But what about the car outfit that rented the house? They got a problem. Houston, we got a problem. We paid $750 for the house. It's only worth $700,000, but it's not new anymore. It's now 2 years old. And there's a whole bunch of houses all around us that are for sale at $700,000. If we want to get a renter, we got to lower our rental price. If we lower our rental price to attract a renter, that is our income in is lower. If our income in is lower, our payouts are lower to our investors. And it might well be that they have set up arrangements with their investors that they pay 80% of the rent money that comes in, or 60%, or whatever it is. All of a sudden, the money going to the investors into these rental entities is dropping. And they're sitting there going, well, hold it a minute. I'm getting now only a 6% return on this money, where I could just give the money to the US government and get 9. Why would I do that? And so withdrawals slowly come into these pools where they can't even attract new money. They can't even hold the money they've got. And the rental prices are dropping because houses are everywhere. The new housing values are dropping because there's inventory everywhere. Rates are high. And so those with cash, those with down payments have the power to get the deal they want. Those who are sitting on the assets are getting crushed because they're losing value of their assets, and their cash flows are drying up completely, especially the rental entities. And the investors are just going, I just want to make a decent buck on my money. It's nothing personal. I just want to make money. It's business. And so around and around we go with this game that's going on right now. And we're just getting into it. We've only just started. For those of you with an 8-second attention span, I'm sorry to say, this is going to last a couple of years, and it's going to be ugly. And so there you go. If you're in the market to buy a house because you have a fat down payment, you might not want to do that right now. You might want to wait. And don't get all excited about a 10% pricing decrease, because 10% is jack squat. That's nothing. You got to understand where the market has come from in the last 5 years. What were houses selling for in 2018, 19 before the pandemic versus what they're selling for now? And you're going to go, oh, well, I know where we can go back to. We could go back to here. If we don't have a pandemic or shutdown anymore coming, there isn't going to be another wave of panic buying of homes. So really the downside is kind of back to 2018, 19 is the downside. But if you add to this the lack of demand and higher interest rates and higher taxes and higher insurance premiums, natural disasters are one way to get higher insurance premiums. Inflation, cities have to get more tax money. Towns have to get more tax money. Counties, states, their costs are going up. Your costs are going up. Everyone's costs are going up. So the cost of maintaining a house, holding onto a house, is going to go up. Your landlord, whoever your landlord is, it's a corporation or an individual. You're in an apartment building, you're in a house, you rent something from a landlord, their costs are going up. They're going to have to pass it on to you. And so the pressure on these asset values is going to be tremendous. And we're talking about hundreds of millions of properties, certainly tens of millions of properties in the United States. Massive. If we see property price declines of 10% to 20% across the board over the next year, we're talking trillions of dollars of wealth that will have evaporated into thin air. Now, this wealth was created out of thin air too. Remember, the prices went up. People got richer on paper because their house went up in value. But if it comes the other direction, same thing. Now, how many folks in the last 2 years, all across the United States, have gone out, borrowed money against their assets appreciation appreciating values. How many people took a second mortgage, took a homeowner equity loan, and bought a truck with it, or bought a boat with it, or grabbed an RV, or whatever, and all those assets are dropping. I mean, it's just a compounding problem. And so there could well be some serious liquidations coming up in the housing market, the car market, the RV market, the boating market, the Sea-Doo market, condos in second locations. So, people who borrowed against their primary residence and then bought a second getaway place, timeshares. I mean, on and on and on it goes. We've got this reverse wealth thing going on, a negative. What does that mean to option writers? You couldn't ask for a better market to write options in. I mean, I don't know how many times I have to keep saying it, but it's true. If you are an option writer, don't fear the upside, because there isn't one. I'm sorry, it's just not gonna happen. There are people on this channel and other media out there who are talking about, well, inflation could be a good thing because, increased prices, increased asset values. If you're sitting on something that, like, let's say you have an ice cream machine and it makes ice cream cones. The machine doesn't cost you any more money because it lasts for 25 years. So you take good care of it. Just the odd little part here and there, but all in all, it runs really nicely. All you're doing is putting in the mix, the ice cream mix into the top of the machine, and then out comes ice cream on the bottom as you make a cone. I'm going to charge more for my ice cream cones. I'm going to charge 50 cents more for every ice cream cone because of inflation. And the cost of the product going in is more expensive, so people naturally know they have to pay more to get the cone. But in reality is I don't have to buy a new machine at double the price. I'm using the old machine, and I'm going to keep the old one going. And so for me, inflation might work out. Yeah. Until the cost of your labor goes sky high, cost of your rent goes sky high, cost of your insurance goes higher. I mean, inflation will eat you alive, man. And so assets go up in value to a degree, but they don't go up enough. And working assets deteriorate. Cars get miles put on them and they run down. Trucks and boats in the water, RVs out there, all these items depreciate, no matter how they appreciate on a resale level, but they depreciate on a usage level. And eventually, if you don't put more money into them to keep them in top condition, they will depreciate faster. And the problem, of course, is to maintain your vehicle, your boat, your RV is costing you more this year than last year, and will cost you more next year than this year. Inflation bites on the other end as well. And so we're in a declining world right now. We're in a depreciating world right now where value against the money is difficult to hang on to. And with higher interest rates to carry and acquire assets on the horizon, there's no question there's going to be higher interest rates. We have got a lower standard of living coming our way, even in America, where the dollar is surging against other currencies around the world. Also, when the time comes where inflation tops out somewhere and interest rates might ease up a little bit, guess what's going to happen to the US dollar? It's going to go down against foreign currencies. It's coming back to normal again. That means the pound will go up against the US dollar, the Canadian dollar will rise, the euro will rise, the peso will rise. The Americans will find that going on that overseas trip is even more expensive because the hotel prices went up 30% while you were not there because they had inflation problems. And now you're coming over there, more expensive to get there and more expensive to be there. And all of a sudden the Americans are going and Canadians are going, oh my God, it's like 40% more to be here than it was before. It was expensive before. Yes. We're not winning with this inflation game. We don't win. We win when we make more money. And that's the end of the game. We have to make more money in our hands to stay ahead of the entire collapse of this gigantic financial world that we're involved with. Or let's see, maybe not collapse, but this gigantic reevaluation of the world we're in, a total reevaluation. And so you're going to have to make more either at your job or have another job to add to your job, or you're going to have to find another source of income to add to your existing income levels, or become option writers full time and make more money doing this than you've ever made anything that you've ever done before. I like that third option. I think that's the one. Anyway, welcome to the show. We got 5 minutes to go before we open up for the day, and we're going to find out what this market is all about. The Dow is up 357, which sounds great, looks great. Hasn't recovered from the loss of 500 points on Friday, as you know. We were down 500 points on Friday, and the last week or two, it's not been good. I mean, this is the last week. We were here last Monday. Did this, had a little run there on Wednesday, lost it all. This is the last month for the Dow Jones, right around here, and went up here. So yeah, the high level of this market was about 32,500 on September the 12th. So what's that, 3 weeks ago? 32,500. The Dow right now is 28,700. Whoops. Yeah, that's almost 4,000 points lower as of now. So this 300-point gain, whoop-de-doo, it's a nothing burger. It looks good, but 300 points on this, it's a nothing. That's a nothing burger. Here's your 3-month chart showing the last of the run, the move up in August, from June to August. It was great. And look what we've lost. All of it and more. All of it and more. Sorry for the glare, but that's what you get with this cheap guy who's homeless. He doesn't have the money to show you all this fancy stuff. Yeah, we're going lower. I'm sorry to say. Here's a 6-month chart of the Dow. Look at where we were. Dropped, had a rally, dropped lower. So we're getting lower highs and lower lows. That's what the market is doing. Lower highs, lower lows. And that's what stocks are doing now. Stocks are not performing as well as they were a year or two ago because earnings expected that are coming in now, earnings projections, are going to be downgraded and dropped by analysts and company officials. They have to tell you, if you're on the board of directors of the company and you're the CEO, and you know that the quarter coming up is not going to match, and the quarter after that it's not going to match what you had been projecting to your shareholders, you've got to come clean with them and say, we're expecting lower margins, expecting lower this and that. You might give actual guesses, and this is yikes. Okay. You'll see what happens. Dude, my GameStop 25 is closing October 7th. I think I'll be rolling over with a nice profit. I sold them at $4.95. Giddy on up there. 25.43 on the stock for GameStop. We're up 30 cents this morning. We got up over 25.50 for a bit, but I have not seemed to be able to hold this. I got the Dow up 373. I've got a 43-point gain in S&P and NASDAQ up 95. Headline from Norwegian Cruise Lines. Norwegian Cruise Line to end COVID testing, vaccination, and masking requirements. The Wild West is back in the cruise business. So you'll be able to just show up, go on the ship, and don't have to answer any questions about anything whatsoever. And so we're wide open. What I'm hearing, unfortunately, and this is, I get this all the time. Friends tell me, yeah, listen, I was just talking to a good buddy of mine who he and his wife went on a cruise for 10 days. And he's not feeling well. He's really come down with the COVID thing. He's not doing well at all. Well, was he vaccinated? Yeah, he was vaccinated. He's been infected and it's hitting him. Wow. Why do you think that is? Well, half the people on the ship have been vaccinated. They don't believe in it. And you got 4,000 people on 12 decks for 10 days, plus crew, 1,500 more, 5,500 people on a cruise ship, 1,000 feet long, 150 feet wide. What do you think the odds are you might catch it? Yeah, now it's completely wide open. So, look. If you go to a shopping mall, you can keep a distance between people if you wish to. You go to a ball game, a little more difficult because you're sitting in the stands now, surrounded by the fans. You go on a cruise ship, you are constantly exposed to people in very tight quarters. I mean, just walking by someone in a hallway on a cruise ship, you got to kind of turn your body sideways to kind of get past each other. You can hold your breath for a minute or two if you want, but that's not going to help when every 2 seconds you're passing somebody else on a good. You're going to die of suffocation if you try that game. You got to breathe. So going to a show, going to the restaurants, hanging out at the pool deck, you're going to get whatever anyone else has. If they got a cold, you're getting a cold. They got the flu, you're getting the flu. They got COVID, you're going to get COVID because you're too close to people. Now, some of you who get it will be fine because you're strong. You got the vaccinations, or you didn't, and you just don't get sick. Great, but there will be many vulnerable people who are going to get this, and this is what that's what we wonder about. And we're open. DQ has done the ultimate deed today. Thank you, DQ from Pittsburgh, hitting the bells for us, because Larry, I think, is in Greece, isn't he? Larry Titus, I think he's in Greece, our normal bell ringer. So welcome one and all to the show. We're up, we're running, we're going. Larry's traveling, and I'm glad you're here. We all want to go. Many of us would love to go on a cruise. The question is, can we? When can we? Will we? And I'm curious in the next couple of months, just what is going on with cruising. I will see. I know I'm going to hear about this from my viewers on my other channel, Traveling with Bruce, just how it's going, and are people coming back ill, and do they get ill a week after they get home? Do they feel like crap? What's going on? I don't know. We'll see what's going on. Don't be surprised after Norwegian that Carnival and Royal Caribbean will also announce complete wide open cruising along all the other cruises. Everyone else will do it. They'll all go into it, and it'll be wide open, no masking, no nothing requirement. And away we go. And now it's take your chances time. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. Alberto, thanks, DQ. Or did you ring the bells, boy, for Beach Boy? JR, he's spending that option money. Way to go, Lair. Olivia, thank you, DQ, for hitting the bells. Thanks, DQ. And thank you, everybody, for being here. We're up 342 on the Dow at the moment. I'm showing Nike up 60 cents. I've got Biogen down 80. Apple is down 15 cents. GameStop is 24.94, down 19. Let's take a look at this here. 24.95, down 18 cents. It was showing a gain of 30-something before the opening. SoFi is up 4 to 492. Rocket Lab up 3 to 410. Hewlett Packard HBQ is up 37 cents to 25.29. The AMC APE combination off 18 more cents. And that means the combined value of the APE preferreds and the common shares are $9.50. Yuck is the word. I was trying to remember what the word was on that. Yeah, that's called yuck. ME up 6 cents. Matterport up a tenth of a penny. ATIP is up 4 to 104. SmartRent up a half a penny to 227. Spire is 110, up 2 cents. Cyxtera up 3 cents to 411. Bed Bath Beyond down 14. Tesla is off 13.90 to 251.35. And look for this stock. Just let's see if it breaks the 250 level and goes any lower. It touched it. It just broke it. 248. It did it. I was going to say if it hits it and goes through, it might drop a few more dollars. Bingo. So those of you who are trying to get back those calls you've written, if you've written 270s, 275s, 280s, you want to put in a nice stink bid down here, scoop them back, and immediately look to write 260s for this Friday or next Friday for higher money, more money. You're buying back further out of the contracts, out of the money, to buy closer into the market. 247 right now is the pricing. If the shares go to 240, you're going to write 250s, 255s. But right now you're looking at 260s most likely. 247.01 down $18 on Tesla right now. GameStop down 60 cents at 24.53. Same story here on GameStop. You're looking for an opportunity to buy calls back for a really nice profit. If you've written 26s, 26 and a halves, 27s, and you've got yourself a 50% profit or more, You put in a stink bid, try to get your calls back immediately, turn right around and write 25 and a halves, 25s, 26s maybe. So from 27s to 26, or from 26 and a half to 25 and a halves, 26s to 25s, this type of thing. You want to write closer in contracts for this Friday, next Friday, the Friday after, for a more money, more cash in your account. Don't go spending that money on anything. Sit on that powder, all of it. Raise powder in your account. You have to be compensated as the stock backs off, and that's cash in. You wait, let the new contract depreciate further. If the stock goes lower, rinse and repeat. If the stock stays around here, that contract will shrink as its time value runs out, and you will win yet again. And then you'll decide your next move. Okay. Work to do. 248 on Tesla and 2437 down 76 cents on GameStop. The Dow is up 263. It's already given up 100 points. We're up 29 on S&P. NASDAQ up 44 right now. That is the story right here, right now. Okay. Let's see what else is going on here. That there might be a dead cat bounce is right. Pfizer up 32 cents. Boeing up 121. Cisco up 57. These are the kind of stocks that you want to write options on this morning, because you've got strength. So if you have an opportunity to write calls, great. If you're buying back a call that's out of the money nicely, and you can scoop it back here for a profit and now write a closer in call for a higher price than you would have got on Friday, this might be your moment to do so. And again, bring in cash. Twitter down 39 to 43.45. Home Depot up 577. Carvana 1977, under 20 bucks, down 53 cents. Used car market is in trouble. The automotive market is in trouble. New cars are coming out. Demand is there, but interest rates are now killing demand. And a number of car companies are still not able to deliver finished vehicles because of parts shortages. It's a mess in the car business. Robinhood down 30 cents to 980. Vanik is up 58 to 148.97. JP Morgan is a little higher. Let me go back for a minute here. Vanik was 166 higher. IBM is up 87 cents to 119.68. Microsoft up 202, 234.92. Goldman up 39 cents. Google up $1. Amazon up 52 cents. Meta Platforms up $1. BlackBerry up 30 cents. Royal Caribbean down 43 cents. Norwegian down 29. Carnival down another 23 cents. Carnival, $6.80 a share. Not looking good. All right, Target up 52 cents. JP Morgan up 53. Costco up $1.30. Walmart up 130. Nvidia up 68. Disney up 28 cents. Moderna down 92 cents at 117. I know somebody that writes 120s and 125s. He might be in a position to buy some calls back in the next little while to make some more money. He might be writing 120s yet again. It's going to be interesting. Or lower. American Airlines down 25 cents to 11.79. Not looking great. Netflix up 142 at the moment. All right. The Dow is up 246 after being about 100 plus points more than this higher. Nike off 62 now. Biogen up 177. Apple up 50. Centinos to 138.70. GameStop down 58 to 24.55. SoFi down 2.8 cents. Rocket Lab down a penny. Interesting market. Headline: Norwegian cruise stock extends sell-off towards a 3-month low after lifting all COVID testing and masking requirements. This is a mixed message. It's a good, bad news story. There'll be people who will cancel cruises now because they're lifting all restrictions. There will be people who will make cruises because they weren't able to go on cruises until now. Anyone who didn't get vaccinated, thinks this is a hoax, or the vaccinations are full of government spy robots or something. They can now go cruising again. So the Looney Tunes can go cruising. Anyone can go cruising. And those who got vaccinated are going, I'm not interested at this time to be hanging out with the Looney Tunes. I'm not doing it. These conspiracy theorists can cruise all they want, but I'm not going on these ships. I'm going to an all-inclusive resort with my partner, and we have an 500 square foot unit with a nice little jacuzzi in front of our unit. We're going to walk the beach. We're not going to be cramped in a cruise ship with 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,000 other people. We're just not doing it right now. Cruise lines are trying to ramp up their occupancy to the highest level possible. They need money. And so they're opening it up to everybody, including the crazies who didn't get vaccinated. There you go. You want to take your chance on that? Someone coughing beside you? Good luck at the casino. So much fun. Unbelievable. Yeah, what can I say? I'm all a hoax. I'm a government spy robot. Come on. There you go. Oh my gosh. I just wrote a cash secured put on GameStop. This expiring this Friday. It's a $24 strike. I got 94 cents for it. So Boo is saying, you know what? I'm happy to buy this stock from anybody who wants to sell it to me. I'll do a $24 call or put. Stock's at $24.55. Give me 94 cents up front so that I only have to pay $23.06 for this stock. You want to exercise me? Hit me with this stuff. I'll take it off you for 24 bucks. Of course, at 24.55 on the open market, no one's going to sell Boo anything right now. So Boo gets to keep the 94 cents, $94 a contract. And the stock doesn't go under 24, that $94 contract is worth nothing at the end of the week. And Boo keeps $94 and says, thanks for the good times. On the other hand, Boo is going, you want to sell it to me? Even if it goes to $23.50, I'll buy it off you. I'm only paying $23.06. I don't mind this game. It's all good. It's a good times. We'll see how it all works out. Thank you all for popping through here and catching up with me this morning. Thanks, guys, for subscribing to this channel. Thank you, everyone who's becoming a member of this channel. Man, are you guys great? I love it. We got to go to member-only chat now. That's what we do during market hours. So let's pop that up there. Hey, Jet. How you doing? Come on in. I love you how you do that. Squeak the door. You got to love that. Good Lord. Haunted house or something. Come on. Well, Halloween, I guess, is coming. I suppose that's true.
We have had the most spectacular sunrise this morning.
It was gorgeous today. Yeah.
The sun is just breaking.
I told everybody we've moved to another double secret location, but they don't know where it is.
Double secret probation.
Double secret probation location. Absolutely right.
It is amazing.
It's really nice out there. Yeah.
That's one thing you got to give Calgary. We have spectacular
the sun is just coming up the horizon there.
And
yeah.
Spectacular sunsets.
It's gorgeous. It's pretty. It's
Those
pretty.
darn mountains. They just get us every time.
Every darn old time. What can I say? What can I say?
Those silver and gold sunsets.
Indeed. So how you doing?
I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good.
Yeah, we're happy here. We have a little more space, a lot more space.
2-door separation.
We have 2-door separation between us now.
Didn't hear a thing.
Didn't hear a thing?
Didn't hear you at all.
I closed that bedroom door.
I missed the rant.
And then I closed this door, and you didn't have to hear the rant.
What was the rant on this morning? I missed it.
Oh, I was telling everybody how wonderful you are and everything about you.
I knew it.
How you're the sweetest thing. Everyone here can attest to it.
Same old.
Everyone here can attest to it. Jen would read the comments, about you confirming this talk, but she doesn't want to be on camera, so it's okay. You don't have to write and say that's exactly what he said. No, it's okay.
There you go.
Yeah, don't talk about the other stuff. Okay. Yeah, it's been great.
So did you tell him what's going to happen?
Well, I thought you might tell him what's going to happen. Because I mentioned that we went grocery shopping the other day.
We did, and it's sad how delighted you can be to go grocery shopping.
It's pathetic how delighted you can be to go grocery shopping. I really pity people like Donald Trump. He'll never know what it's like to go grocery shopping because he doesn't know how to push a cart, let alone. Can you imagine him trying to put coming to Canada and put a loonie into a shopping cart to get the chain off so you can then pull the cart out and go? He'd be lost.
Do you think Justin Trudeau goes grocery shopping?
I would say he did. I would say he did as a 20-something when he was a teacher in British Columbia. So he knows. Sure. But I don't think Donnie Boy ever did it.
Probably not.
No, I don't think so. I think it's his manservant who did the grocery shopping.
Kardashians, you think they're out there pushing a cart?
I don't think they're out there pushing carts, but I'm sure that's children they did it.
I read this morning, and I'm sure I'm weeks behind. But apparently, whichever Kardashian it was is not dating Pete Davidson anymore.
Well, okay. I had Kardashian news that I did talk about this morning, but not that news.
Really?
Yeah, I did not talk about the Pete Davidson saga. No.
Who
No.
saw that coming?
Who could see anything like that happen? No. Kim Kardashian was fined $1.26 million by the SEC plus interest for failing to disclose on her Instagram posts, of which she was paid $250,000
Right.
to promote cryptocurrency.
Oh yeah.
She was being paid $250,000 to talk about this one cryptocurrency, how great it is, but didn't happen to mention anywhere in the fine print of her thing to disclose to reviewers, I'm being paid $250,000 to tell you how great crypto is. And they nailed her.
Intimating that her followers wouldn't have known that she was being paid for this?
I think they're just intimating that the rules are you must disclose.
Well, yes,
YouTube tells me here that if I get paid by anybody to say anything, I have to tell my viewers in writing or verbally or both.
We also feel a moral responsibility.
Yeah, well, there's that. So I mentioned this morning to all my viewers, I mentioned to them and all of my non-viewers who just could be sponsors of this channel. Because, I mean, there's someone here from Tesla, I'm sure, watching this show. And I've made it abundantly clear. And let me just say it one more time. If anyone is here from Tesla and wants me to sponsor their product, just give me a call. Okay. I'm sure we can come up to some sort of an agreement of maybe I could have the use of a vehicle, all that. I am making it abundantly clear to the Tesla people. I'm happy to talk to you about this. So, hey, my email's down below. Get a hold of me. There you go. And that's full and plain and true disclosure.
There you go.
All my viewers know I love a Tesla vehicle. So it's not like I'm hiding this from my viewers.
Well, so they find her.
They find her.
Yeah. The amount that she made.
Plus $1 million.
Okay, there you go.
And interest.
Yes, you have to have some kind of.
Yeah, and she also agreed to a 3-year suspension from. There's many other rules, but 3-year suspension from any kind of crypto, anything, and she's also agreed to some other conditions. So this is a lengthy. I'm bad. I did bad, and I will make it up.
Not just a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. So there you are.
How's your markets this morning?
We're up. Well, at the moment, it looks like we're ahead here a little bit. Hang on, my machine is glitching up. We're up 300 on the Dow, but we think it's a dead cat bounce for a part of the day. We're up 39 on S&P, 82 on NASDAQ. Oil is up 489 because the OPEC guys are talking about 1 million barrel a day cutback to show the West how they support America, Canada, and Europe in a time of war with Ukraine. We're going to cut production by $1 million barrels a day, and that'll keep the price nice and high, and that'll hurt the Russians. Wait a minute. No, that doesn't hurt the Russians. It hurts us. You mean the Saudis are not on our side?
No.
You mean the OPEC guys are not on the side of America?
Don't go there.
Why do they hate America so much? What is with this hating America? This is an expression we love using around here all the time. Why do you hate America?
I don't know where we first saw that.
We saw that on some show
because we really,
after 9/11.
We really only speak in movie quotes.
We only speak in movie quotes. That's true.
We really do. In fact, I saw a button that said that once, and I thought, oh,
well, there you go.
That's for us.
Like now I can write call contracts. Ho, ho, ho. We have ways. Someone sent me a PayPal donation. Alberto, you are the man. Thank you, my friend, for that. Way to go. I know what you did to do that. I know what you had to do to that. You do this. Thank you, my friend. You're awesome. That you did.
Thing?
You know what thing?
That
the other thing. We're talking about the other thing. You took care of the other thing, right? No, I'm not talking about that thing. I'm talking about the other thing. Yeah, that thing. Yeah, okay, we got that.
That's from a movie.
That's from a movie. It's from a movie. I think that's from Analyze This or Analyze That or Analyze whatever. Yeah, that thing. You did. I'm talking about the other thing. Okay, I did that.
What? Hit the pillow. It'll make you feel better. So he shoots it.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a hit.
Take your frustrations out on the pillow.
You said
it's not what I had in mind. So, you want some of the big news?
Well,
big news.
I have something to offer you right here on camera. And you have some watchers now that are so new They've never experienced this.
They haven't got a clue what we're talking about.
And they're going to say, wow, he just breaks all the rules.
And there are 264 people here, and you know what's going to happen now? 262 of these people are going to contact all their friends and say, you got to watch Uncle Bruce in the next 5 minutes because you're not going to believe what's going to happen on the air live.
So I'm just going to ask one question.
Yes.
Purple or orange?
Purple.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Those who are here a while, you know what I'm talking about. But, you know, you can leave that open until you come back. It's up to you. It's unbelievable. Who cares is going, it's happening. Olivia's going, jelly, jelly, jelly. Hybrid Duncan, the bagel. Nick is going, oh no. That's it. Sydney B, bagels. Oh my gosh. Beach Boy, wow. Uncle Bruce is losing it, and Jen encourages him. Worlds collide. Brian, I put my stink bid in to buy back my October 14.27 strike for 70 cents. I can only do 5-cent increments. Got it. Yeah, you can't do 71s or 76s. I got it. Fair enough. 24.78 on GameStop right now. Still off 35 cents on the day. Right on. Just sit there with that stink bid. Let it come to you. Don't chase that contract. Right on. It's happening. Bagel. Look what's going on. The views are just going to skyrocket here in a few minutes. You know what's going to happen. Again, I think Jen is dyeing her hair. Purple or orange. Bruce gets to pick the color, purple or orange hair. Honey, which one would you like? Oh my goodness. Bagel. She's becoming a Vikings fan. She's going to go purple or orange. There you go. Bagel. Everyone's happy. Bagel. We know what's happening. The logos, the emojis are popping up from all the members here. Oh, purple it is, says dude. Purple. Bagel. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it's out of control. What can I say, folks? We're up 328 on the Dow. We're up $1 on Nike. Biogen down 73 cents. I think Nick tried to send me a message here through all this craziness, and I just got to see if I can find it again. See what he did here. What did he do? Did he give it to me here, or did I get it elsewhere? I'm trying to stay on top of it. Let me double check something over here. No, it's not there. So must have been over here. Yes, he got out of Biogen at 265, although I wanted to score big and pay you. I was in regular T-call and before they liquidated my account. So right on, buddy. Way to go, pal. Nice going, Nick. You're making money and you're taking care of business. I'm happy. It's all good, my friend. And pulled in some money. Way to go, pal. Nicely done. You made 12 grand. I'm proud of you. Nicely done, my friend. It's called making money no matter what. And you know what? You just realign and get ready again. So no big deals. No big deal whatsoever. Beautiful job. All right. Thank you all. Hit me with your best shot, says JR. DQ Jen is crying about our Steelers. Oh no. Yep. JR, Uncle Bruce, I think you just moved into the bedroom at the last hotel. You just moved next door. That's all you've done. He's lying, Jen. Good morning. Good morning, Auntie from Alberto. JR, it's all a hoax and conspiracy courtesy of the Canadian government. Bagels? What's going on? Bagels? All kinds of good stuff going on. Welcome, one and all. Lame Duck is thumbs up 165. Thank you for hitting those thumbs ups for me already, guys. Get us to 200. Thank you. Munamo, Bagel, TJ, Bagel, Hybrid, Duncan, Curling, Christina, but it is a sesame bagel. Aaron has Jen dialed in the toaster settings. Bill, Bagel, Coyote, TCOB, Hybrid, Duncan, Christina, welcome to the Golden Bagel membership. Coyote, I personally am a big fan of 12 grand. Yeah, I would be too. Beach Boy, bring your own bagel. BYOB, bring your own bagel. There you go. Giddy up. We got another week of bagels coming up. I can't wait. I'm so excited. So happy to be able to do that. Oh my gosh. Alberto Gaudy, what did you miss? JJ curling emojis. Here we go. Interesting stuff. Tons of funds this morning. We're down 34 now on GameStop to 24.79, 24.73. Down lower, 24.60. Just dropped here to 24.60 on GameStop. We're down 53 cents. So contracts are backing off. Speaking of biking, Barron's Peloton stock climbs as bikes are going to be put in 5,400 Hilton hotels. That's an interesting move. That should be an interesting move indeed. And let's see. Oh, I've been here too, says Christina. Marcus, please fix the lamp, my dearest uncle. What lamp? There is no lamp. Duncan, Bruce, how many hotel points do you have saved? You've made it to the ambassador level at IHG. I really don't even bother with this stuff. I just don't. I do get points because I book through Expedia and I get discounts that way. And I forget all the other stuff because all I get is junk mail from these guys. It's just endless. And you get like we'll give you 20% off your off a meal. Yeah, an $18 sandwich. You get $3 up. Like I don't need it 18. I don't need a sandwich from these guys. Like it's crazy. Beach Boy, got one over here as well, waiting for you so we can eat together. Beach Boy waited to eat his bagel when I get my bagel. Oh my gosh, the excitement is building across the internet, around the world. The bagel consumption numbers are rising dramatically everywhere. You got to love this. Fabulous. 24.60 on GameStop, down 53 cents at the moment is where we're at. S&P up 36, NASDAQ up 67, the Dow up 323. Oil is holding up at 84.18. It's 469. I predict this week we'll be back under 80 on oil. I just sense it'll happen. It'll happen. We'll be back under 80 again. Maybe by next week, back into the mid 70s. We'll see here. LL, bagel. Giddy up. Welcome one, welcome all to the show, the channel, the dream, the wishes, the hopes, the dreams, the aspirations. 24.57, 24.50 now on GameStop. Another dime lower, down 63 cents. Low of the day, 24 was 24.76. Let me double check here. The low of the day was 24.21 on GameStop. We're at 24.45 right now. We're quickly dropping at the moment on GameStop. High of 25.17, low of 24.21, and we're at 24.47. Let's see here. S&P, a final S&P reading of U.S. manufacturing in September is 51.5 versus preliminary 51.8. So lower reading of the manufacturing sentiment index dropping. That's bad. That's good for the Fed because they want to slow down. Bad for the economy, but that means that's a slowdown. What about unemployment? We have so much to watch and wait for. We'll see how this all works out. The Dow right now is down 298 at the moment, 296. Apple's up 90 cents to 139. GameStop at 24.41, down 72. SoFi 492 up 4. Rocket Lab up 5.5. HPQ up 34 cents. We got AMC Ape off 53 cents again. 9.15 now. Combined units, they're just getting crushed. ME down 2.5. Matterport down 4. ATIP up 4. Smart Rent down 2.5 cents. Spire down 2 cents. Cyxtera down 24 cents. Bed Bath Beyond down 20 at 5.90. Tesla down 18.81 to 246.44. Again, buying back calls that anyone's written at 270, 75, 280. Buy them back and now write 260s immediately and bring in more money. That is the game here. If these shares want to go lower, they want to go to 235, 230, you buy back your 260s and you write 250s. Bring in more cash each and every time. That's how you play this game. Rinse and repeat here. Pfizer down 13. Anyone write Pfizer's this morning? They're backing off now. Boeing up 121. Cisco up 65 cents to 40.65. Twitter down 22. Home Depot up 370. There it is. That's where we're at. Dow is up 284 right now. What is it, Jen? What's the matter?
Where's your light switch?
Oh, it's on that wooden thing over there. It's right at there. It is.
Oh.
Yeah. That's this light.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here it is. Look at this. Oh my God. Look at that. The hand of death. The hand of death. But look at that. Grape jelly on a sesame seed bagel. There's the napkin. You always have to have a napkin. You always got to.
Okay.
Fantastic, Ken. Thank you
I'm
so
waiting
much.
for the first bite.
Look at this. The bagel. Beach Boy has got his bagel. He's waiting until I get mine before he eats his. Cheers, everyone around the world. Bagel lovers everywhere. It's
Unite.
great to.
Bagel lovers, unite.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Soft. Tastes like a Costco bagel.
It's
loaded with sesame seeds. Every time you pull one out of the bag, they stick to your hand.
Yeah, I can see the bottom. I'm here.
Yeah.
Baby.
Oh, baby.
Thank you so much.
I was going to turn that light off.
You could. You just have to hit the middle button in there.
Are you
just push in the button in the middle. I think that does it. Here he goes.
Since you're going to be having the sun beating in on you soon.
Indeed.
Beautiful day. There's not a whisper of a breeze.
Nice and calm out there.
Nice and calm.
A wonderful
just
fall
like
day.
The markets.
A wonderful fall day where the market is up 393 on the Dow. GameStop 2462.
Oh.
I make that 2458. It's down 55 cents.
Yeah. It's got to get up, have a nice little pump so people can write.
You only get the dip, you buy them back,
That's
and
right.
then you right again. Giddy up.
You know, and one day it'll turn and they'll start going up and then down a little and then up. And do the 3-2. So, while you're eating, did you want to talk about Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, DQ kind of mentioned that they're in mourning over there.
Well, now come on. He did. Our new little guy came into the roar of the crowd.
Pickett.
Woo, the roar of the crowd. And Trubinsky hung his head on the side. And so Pickett comes in, and what does he do? Runs in for a touchdown. And then what else does he do? Runs in for another touchdown. And then what else does he do? He throws 3 interceptions in a half a game.
Is he a rookie?
Yes, exactly. Which is why they didn't really want to put him in, because they know he has this tendency, as do so many college quarterbacks, to throw the ball when he's in trouble. Or when he's not in trouble. They just throw the ball without seeing the whole field. Because they're a little faster in the NFL than they are in college.
Yeah. A tad quicker.
Yeah. There was an emergency on the field where this was not in my game, but the fans were in consternation because one of the players, without really showing any injury, was sitting on the side of the cart and was being carted off the field. And then about 5 minutes later, he was carted back onto the field with no explanation. And he went on Twitter afterwards to explain that he had a tummy ache and he needed a nature break and he couldn't clench that far off the field. That's what he said. The clench walk wouldn't have been enough.
Oh, how many yards is it to the dressing room? Too many yards.
That's why we have Twitter.
Oh my gosh.
Needed a nature break. But all is fine. He came back.
Oh my. Well, you know, if you had to, if you installed these little pop-up,
those little
units,
tents,
you can imagine how bad it would be if a player went in there, came out of there a few minutes later, and no other player wanted to go in there for the rest of the game. You knew then.
Or the fireman showed up with a hose. Not spraying the outside.
The extinguisher with all the carbon. Oh my God.
I hope everybody's enjoying their bagel.
Are you all having a wonderful little bagel break? I appreciate you all being here. We've actually lost 30 viewers since I started eating.
I know.
They just don't understand the significance of a bagel break.
Well, and people don't actually, they have you in their ears,
Mm. Well, there's that.
so they don't necessarily enjoy the chewing. Or, it's my golden tones.
They're just not Steeler fans.
Possibly they're not Steeler fans. No, if they were not Steeler fans, they'd be enjoying this.
Are the Steelers America's team now?
I don't know who would be.
I mean, who's America's team now?
They still call the Cowboys America's team, but
Really?
that's not really. I don't know. I think it was probably the Chiefs for a while. America likes to go with the winner, and the Chiefs have had their troubles,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if they're all Ram fans now. Or,
Did Tampa Bay lose last night?
I do not know.
They were losing.
Were they losing? Yeah, I don't know. Weren't they in Tampa Bay? Could they do that?
Anybody?
Yeah. See,
What was the score
I
last night?
should know this.
Who played Tampa Bay? What was the score and
The
where were they
Rams. The
playing?
Rams played Tampa Bay.
I'll have the answer here in just a second.
Okay. I haven't gone to I listened to, and I highly recommend the Football Today podcast, Football Talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. I listened to Ross Tucker's football program, and I'll get all of the rundown.
Here we go. DQ. What did it say here first? Richard says Tampa Bay lost. DQ 41-31. Nazareth in Tampa Bay, they lost to the Chiefs.
I think it was an over. They played the Chiefs.
DQ KC over Tampa Bay in Tampa, says Mike.
Yeah.
Richard KC 41-31.
Yeah, it's an over.
That's an over.
Those guys.
That had to have been an over.
I'm happy that Tampa Bay is able to, that they obviously avoided enough of Ian that they were able to still hold the game. Hurricane.
You mean the hurricane?
Yeah. Because didn't it whack Tampa Bay as well?
Tampa Bay got lucky.
Yeah.
It was
They
under.
must have.
Came in under. And therefore, the worst of the storm was not suffered at Tampa Bay. Very fortunate.
Now we have
4 million people.
we have a hurricane headed for Mazatlan. We're going on the other side.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So, you thought, no, I'm not going to go to Florida. I'll go to Mexico.
Yeah. Ha! It was such a quiet season until 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Right?
Everything's changed.
We got our last month here.
Yeah.
June to November. Okay.
Folks,
Bye.
Jen, thank you so much. Appreciate this. Folks, thank you for tolerating me during bagel time. Oh, it's so good to be back in the bagel business. Did you even chew that bagel, Bruce? Oh, my, Brian. So Credit Suisse also had 2 board members quit over the weekend. This is a large bank, would affect everything. Let's see how the next few weeks go. Maybe sell more covered calls. I don't know. Well, I wouldn't touch that Credit Suisse stock because they're trying to reorganize things, and they might pull out some decent arrangements, and the stock could take a shot 50% higher or lower. Don't touch it. But yes, on the rest of the market, yes, there's opportunities. Beach. I don't talk with my mouth full. I type. I'm better than this, Uncle Bruce. Right on. Anytime I travel anywhere in the world, I always see people wearing Raiders shirts, shorts, hats. That is a fact. People just love the silver and black. That's true. And of course, if you go to Southern California, even 10 years ago, you went to Riverside, California, near Los Angeles, with the Raiders in Oakland. There are Raiders team shops. There were Raiders team shops all over Los Angeles before, of course, SoFi Stadium showed up with their 2 teams. Things have changed. Cowboys will always be America's team. Well, what can I say? It is what it is. Look at the Dow, up 540. The Dow is up 540 points. We've got S&P up 63, NASDAQ up 134, gold, oil up 449. A nice dead cat bounce, maybe. Like I said, could last a day or two. It could be gone later today. We have Nike up 163, and they've got inventory issues, like too much inventory in the U.S., on the way to the U.S., and in China waiting to come to the U.S. They are drowning in Nike product. Look for discounts. Biogen down 292. 264.08. Apple is up 207 to 140.27. GameStop down 38 cents right now. It's at 24.75, 24.75.83 range. Trying a little rally. Don't know if it'll get one. SoFi is at $5 even, up 12 cents. We've got Rocket Lab up 9 to 416. HPQ up 64 cents today, 25.56, giving opportunities to write options at higher prices. And if they want to go up high enough and you've written 24s or 25s, you can, if you can do a rollover to your advantage, the kind of rollover where you can move up $1 in strike or more and get more money at the same time, consider it, but not too far down the road. AMC ape off 40 cents. ME up 2.5. Matterport down 1.6 cents. ATIP's up 4 to 104. Smart Rent down 2.5. Spire off 4 cents. Cyxtera down 25 at 383. I think that's a new all-time low on Cyxtera. Yes, it is. New all-time low on Cyxtera. Bed Bath Beyond down 12. Tesla down 17.52 to 247.72. The low today on Tesla was 241.99. Under 240 in that 235.40 range. You look at buying back 260s and start writing 250s and bringing in more cash. Keep an eye on that. Watch for that. Don't keep your eye off the ball there. Pfizer up 11 cents. Boeing up 187. Cisco up 87. Since all three of these can be looked at depending on how high they want to go for either rollovers or if they back off the other direction rollovers. Keep an eye on all that. All right. Amazon up 26 cents. Google up 185. Goldman up 133. Microsoft up 323. IBM up 110. Vanik up $4.30. That's what I see going on all over the place here. We're now up only 393 on the Dow. The Dow got to 29,273. It's now 29,119. So 150 points off the high of the morning in the last 5 minutes. So a lot of volatility built into this market. Hyper volatility everywhere. We were just up 543 a few minutes ago. Now we're up 399. U.S. construction spending falls for a second straight month. That's a headline. And the ISM Factor Index produces weakest reading since May 2020. Okay, that is coming across, and the Dow now showing 542 again on the gain. Now, I could be looking at computer glitches here. I could be looking at quote glitches. So bear with me as we try to follow all kinds of craziness out here. All right. Let's see. Let's go. All right. Splayer saying, I'm going to go lurking on the phone and start playing on the PS5. Enjoy the day, everybody. Splayer, hang in there, buddy. Good to see you. We're up 540 on the Dow. We're up 60 on S&P, and we're up 118 on the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is up 1.1%. S&P is up 1.7%, and the Dow is up 1.9%. Carnival stock drops 1.3% after plunging 23% on Friday to close at a 30-year low. That's Carnival stock headline coming across. If these guys are dropping to 30-year lows and they're just ramping up their business, watch for airlines, hotels, car rental entities. Watch for further deterioration in other sectors. This is not good news, but it is reality. There is no question about this. We'll watch for all of that. Biogen, 262 down 429. Apple, 140.06 up 186. GameStop, 24.77 down 37 cents. 502 on SoFi. We had a little pop there. Keep an eye on all these markets, see what's going on. Lots of glitches going on in the market right now and lots of volatility showing up. 24.74 on GameStop right now. All right. Welcome one, welcome all to the party. It's one heck of a show. Unbelievable. And Matterport down a penny. ATIP up 4. Yeah. Cyxtera still down at 383, down to 24 cents. Tesla 246 down 1840 on Tesla. Keeping an eye on how this is going to react. Okay, everyone, welcome all to the party. Nice to have you here, and great times for option writers. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it right here, right now. Pfizer up 1 penny, Boeing up 344, Cisco up 102, 103. All right, there we go. Let me double check here. Um, mm, mm, mm. Not sure what's going on here. Let's see what's going on here. Uncle Bruce, historically during bearish times, markets bottom out hard during October and start recovery late in the month of November. I think we have a few more months of pain. What do you say? We are going to have a lot of analyst projections coming out that are not going to be good, with corporations who are going to have to, I think, restate their financials. Not that they, I'm not talking about restating financials already filed. I'm talking about future earnings estimates. I think future earning estimates of many of the S&P 500, the Russell 2000, will be redone by analysts and by corporations. And this is going to wear on the markets, really weigh, because our PE multiples are over 15 right now. At the moment, that's what seems to be happening. But that assumes that the earnings for the next 12 months will be equal to the earnings for the last 12 months. And that isn't going to happen. We're not going to have the kind of earnings for the next 4 quarters coming up that we had for the last 4 quarters going back. And that's what the PE multiple is telling us. The PE multiple of 15.5 average is not telling us what we're currently doing. It's telling us what was done in the last 4 quarters. This is the issue. And now if we find that average earnings are going to be 20% less than what they were, or 30% less than what they were the last 4 quarters, for the next 4 quarters, that means we're trading closer to 20 times earnings or higher. In some cases, stocks right now are 25 times earnings. They're going to be trading at 30, 35 times earnings. Can't have that. These stocks have to come back down to this 15 or 12 PE multiple range. The higher interest rates go, the higher inflation kicks around, the worse it gets. And so the question is, well, who's going to do best? Who's going to do the worst? Who's going to be able to beat their numbers? Who's going to be able to maintain their numbers? Like, not even beat, but maintain. And who's going to fall way short? And which companies are going to shock by really missing the mark? So we may have, more Nikes, more, other like Walmarts, more Targets where they drop $80 a share over a month. We may have a number of these coming up in various sectors across the board. Retail is being targeted by shorters because they know the Christmas selling season is not going to match years past. The travel sector, like cruise lines, they're losing money going into this year. They're going to lose more than thought coming out of this year. And so these shares are already showing the weakness. Now the spin-offs all around them are going to do it as well. Not looking good. And that's what we've got. Okay, Bruce, what does it mean, Brian is asking, when you have CDSs, which are credit default swaps, against a stock? Apparently Credit Suisse has the highest level since 2009. Is that betting that they'll fail? Credit default swaps are a form of insurance. If you've ever watched the movie The Big Short, that covered the crisis of 08, 09, when the real estate market collapsed, and many, if not all, of Wall Street firms said there's no way the entire US housing market would collapse at the same time. But it did. And credit default swaps that had been issued by banks to allow investors to bet against the mortgage market really paid off for the gamblers who owned them. The Wall Street guys couldn't believe by writing this stuff that they would actually have to cough up the money. And gamblers on the other side of these swaps had no idea they would have to pay off billions, tens of billions, hundreds of billions in losses, but they did. The question now is, are there a ton of credit default swaps against Credit Suisse, common stock, or the business as a whole? And I suspect there are all kinds of instruments out there always against any and all large corporations, including banks, where there are some gamblers who are prepared to bet against a bank's portfolio of loans that might have to do with their credit card division or their real estate division or their car loans or student loans or the overall entity as a whole, the stock itself, some preferreds. There's a derivative for any kind of bet you want to make, or the business, the brokerage business, will create a derivative just for you on whatever it is you want to gamble on. Brian, it's possible there's a huge number of bets out there against Credit Suisse. I would bet you there have already been many credit default swaps who have cashed in already. Players have cashed in for the last 2 years on this company. I can't comment any more than that. That's all I know. Credit Savage, Uncle Bruce, historically during bearish times, they bottom out. We talked about this. I'm jealous that you had a bagel today. I'm out of everything bagel, says Brian. Coyote, the Credit Savage Wall Street, I agree with your outlook. Brian, Coyote, when you write calls, what is your standard? 2, 3, 4 weeks out? Does it really depend on the stock you're looking at? Brian, let's say GameStop. Let's say GME. Well, there you go. What are we doing on GME? 24.61, down 50 odd cents. 24.60, down 53 cents. The Dow's up 572. The Dow's up nicely. Nike is up 123. Biogen is off 459. Apple up 220 to 140.40. But GameStop is 24.59. SoFi 501 up 13. Rocket Lab up 6. HPQ 25.58 up 66. But AMC, Ape, ME, Matterport, they're all lower. ATIP at the moment is up 4 cents. SmartRent, Spire, Cyxtera, Bed Bath Beyond, and Tesla all down. Tesla now 246, down 19.12. $10 further drop. The 260s will be bought back and 250s will be written. Alberto, Brian, the high-end premiums out of the money, baby. That's the name of the game. 24.67 last trade on GameStop, down 46 cents. 24.59, 24.67. We're down 576 on the Dow Jones. We're up 576, up 576 on the Dow. We're up 64 on S&P, and we're up 123 on the NASDAQ. So far, that is what we've got going. Coyote, Brian, on the GameStop, I write 2 to 5 weeks out, generally speaking, at the money or in the money if it's on the nice run, slightly out of the money on the way down. I just consistently watch the option chain looking for high interest spikes and good steals, and that is the name of this game. Credit Savage, I agree. I seriously think companies will need to go back to 9 times earnings or lower to start a true recovery. Of course, there will be companies that outdo this, but the market will suffer 6 more months. Yeah, you can say to yourself, oh, 15 times PE multiple, that's way better than it was at 25. And you can go, that's great. But historically speaking, under 10 is not unusual. And when stocks trade at 9 or 8, as a whole, like across the board, we have a bunch of them doing that. Now you finally have bargains beginning to show up. Bargains finally presenting themselves to astute market players. But boy, is it tough to be a buyer when everyone else is a seller. It is the hardest thing, except if you're an option writer. It's wonderful to be a buyer because you're buying at a discount to what you sold for. You got to love that. Anyway, there it is. Interesting stuff. 579 gain on the Dow, holding the high of the day right now. We've got GameStop at 24.60 to 61 right now, down 52 cents on the day. The volume on GameStop today, 778,000 shares, not even 200,000 pre-split. Dead calm quiet. No way can this stock go up without volume. I think the stock is under pressure only because AMC and Ape shares are down. They're down 38 and a half cents right now, under $10 a unit, around $9.25 a unit. They were $27, $28 just before the split came through and everything. It's just been a total disaster for AMC investors, just a total disaster. I don't know what has happened with any money trying to be raised buy AMC by issuing 400 plus million new preferred shares, but those preferreds are cheap now, really cheap. And why would people get into them with ultimately 1.5 billion of them floating around? I really don't know. I can't say. Okay, Brian, I have been writing out of the money just because it seems a little safer. I am still a newbie. In the money would be selling for 25 and the current price is 26. Yeah, that's true. But sometimes you can write an in the money call, a buck or two or three, where the premium on top of the in the money is so good that you have to think to yourself, geez, just a 10-day time frame will drop this back to just book value. I keep all the premium. That's worth it. On the other hand, if the shares have a $1 or $2 dip anytime in the next 5 or 6 trading days, along with some time going by, I could write a call for $6 and buy it for 3 or 2. I'm a happy camper. I might just do that. It all depends on the stock and your risk tolerance levels. Let's see, Coyote Brian. Yep, that's right. Nothing wrong with writing out of the money, though. Credit Savage. I love being a buyer when everyone else is a seller. I imagine Nike or Louis Vuitton had a 90% off sale and people ran out the store instead of buying. Makes no sense to me at all. I buy. Coyote, Alberto, oh man, I used to write in the money on GameStop all the time. I prefer to write in the money when GameStop was running big, expecting a pullback or a slowdown, looking for a nice time premium for sure. Coyote, looking for a nice time premium ratio. Rock and roll. The Dow up 600 points right now. 600. Nike up 143. Biogen down 171 to 265. Apple up 266 to 140.86. GameStop 24.68 to 24.70, something like that. SoFi 502 up 14. Rocket Lab up 5 cents. HPQ 25.56 up 65 cents. ME up a penny. Matterport down 4.5. ATIP up 4. Smart Rent down 2. Spire down 4. Cyxtera down 26. Bed Bath Beyond down 11 cents. Tesla down 19.24 to 246.01. Pfizer unchanged. Boeing up 365. Cisco up 110. Twitter down 60. Home Depot up 530. Carvana up 41 cents to 2070. Robinhood down 32. Vanik Vectors SMH up 617. IBM up 250. Microsoft up 430. Goldman up 6. Google up 2. Amazon up $1.30. Meta up 3. BlackBerry up 8 cents. Royal Caribbean up 59. Target up 240. JP Morgan up 230. Costco up $1.15. Walmart up 180. Nvidia up $3. Disney up $1.95. Moderna 121 up 330 a share. Apple American Airlines up 15 cents to 12.19. Interesting market. 636 gain. Fine. Give us a gain. That's all right. We'll take a gain. Some of my viewers here who write options on Cisco, on HPQ, these shares want to go up a little bit. Opportunity to look at rollovers. That's the name of the game, is to take a look at them. If you find one advantageous to your bank account, take the money and move up in premium. Absolutely right. JJ, don't bet against the shorts. Coyote, it can be very scary at times, but you know the tools you have on your side as a writer. Let's see. Karim, my transfer came in now. I can write on the Meta instead of it just sitting there doing nothing, thanks to an asset manager. Thanks for the tip, Uncle B. Rock and roll, buddy. Rock and roll. You're in business. And that's the name of the game. Let's make us some money. Brian Gowdy, how are you doing on your rights? Winning more than 50%? Question mark. 628 gain on this Dow Jones with a 72-point gain on S&P and 164 gain on NASDAQ. Near the highs of the day right now. Oil is up 420 at 83.69. It looks like oil might be a titch lower than the high of the day. Just a tiny bit, nothing serious yet. 83.66 on oil. NASDAQ is at the high of the day. It looks like so is S&P. The Dow near the high of the day as well. There you go. Tesla 247. 34 down 17. The low of the day on Tesla 241. And if we break 240 into the 237.8 range or lower, start looking to buy back 260s and right 250s and pull the string lower and grab more money into your account each and every time. That's what we got to do here. Okay. What else is going on? Not too much else. Let's take a look here. Lots of activity today. Appreciate you all being with us today. This is good to have you. Opportunities abound to lock in some nice prices on options today and get ready for the next 2 or 3 days here to see what it wants to give us. Absolutely beautiful. We have 182 thumbs ups. Guys, thank you for this. I haven't had time to beg for thumbs ups all day today. 18 away from the magic of 200, which I love to get every day. If it's possible, if any of you out there are watching and you haven't yet hit that thumbs up button, could you do me a favor? Hit that sucker for me right now. We got 186 of you come through for me now, 188. I need 12 more, and I got 200. I promise I'll leave you alone. Thank you all for hitting that button. 190 now, 10 to go, and we are there for 200. 192, 8 to go. You guys are awesome. Thank you for finding it, nailing that thing, helping this channel get discovered. More people are finding us every week, and they're beginning to figure out, these guys are always happy when the markets go down. They're happy when the markets go up. They're happy when the markets don't do anything. They're making money all the time. How is this possible? These other YouTube channels are always looking for up days. These guys don't care. How do I join this party? 196 thumbs up, 4 to go. 199, one more, and I got 200. And so people are being brought here and being sent here by YouTube to come on over, and more are discovering us, and they're sticking around going, I kind of like what they're doing over here. We got 200 thumbs ups. Let me know what number you are if you want to. 201 now. Thank you guys so very, very much for this. I appreciate this. I love it. Coyote Brian, I'm not trying to brag, but yes, I am profitable every single month. That's the power of writing, not so much me. Brian, good for you, buddy. You have learned lots from Uncle B and figured out your groove. Obviously, nice work. I'm just dreaming of writing calls for a living. Coyote, I track all my writes. My worst month writing on GameStop was July because the market went insane and ran so high. I had to roll a bit, but I made 900 profit for the month anyway. Brian, it's 100% worth it. It blows my mind every day that this is possible for everybody. Cindy B, I am thumbs up 200. Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate this. Brian, just asked my boss for a raise, and he said we will discuss in January. Boo. Haha. In the meantime, I need some more income, laughing out loud. You might need a new boss, too. Boss wants you to wait 3 months to discuss a raise in this environment. That's not a smart move on the boss's part. If you are of any value to that corporation, you are probably worth more to others. You may start wanting to look right now quietly and just assess the market, because you better know by the time December, January does roll around, if you haven't moved elsewhere, you need to know what you're worth, because you can't talk to your boss without knowing what you could really be paid elsewhere anyway. And if you have multiple opportunities, I don't know why you're sticking around. And if you're being offered 5% or 8%, that's a pay cut, and that's an insult. Alberto Coyote's crushing it. Good work. Yes, indeed. Way to go, everyone here writing contracts, getting raises, making money, writing options. Welcome to the party, pals. It's nice to have you here. We're going to watch this market all day, as we always do. I will be back later today, of course. I got 3 more shows to do here. I got 2 shows to make on my other channel, Traveling with Bruce, and I got 1 more show to make here. 3 o'clock Eastern time, I'll be back right here with you live for the final hour of trading in today's markets. Then I will be live tonight at 7 and 8 o'clock Eastern time on Traveling with Bruce, the TWB channel. And you're always welcome to join us at for the 8 o'clock show. If you're not a member of that channel, join me at 8 o'clock for the big show. We're going to talk about travel. There's lots to talk about travel this week. We'll do that tonight. But in the meantime, hang tough and keep your eye on this market. You have your instructions as to what you should be doing here, and make some money today. You deserve it all. And I'm so proud of so many of you for bringing in some dough. This has been good stuff. Mirko, hey, Uncle B, I bought back a bunch of my GameStop 26s for this Friday. Sold them Friday, 114. I bought them at 56. What would you sell right now on GameStop? GameStop's, well, it's now 24.92, 24.87. Looks like it's coming back a little bit here. You might write those 26s again. You might rewrite them. Just let this market pop a little here, because we may have a little gain on the GameStop, just a tiny little move up. Intraday pop, you'd love that. Write the 26s again for Friday. Take in, a higher premium to buy them back again. There's nothing wrong with this. Alberto says, Coyote, thanks. Big thanks to Uncle Bruce, of course, for opening my eyes to this world. Literally changed my life. John Anderson, thanks, everybody. John, thank you, pal. Always glad you're here. Thank you, everybody, for joining me this morning for this first couple hours, especially you newbies out there. I sure hope you're picking up on it. Check my classes out. Go to my website here called stockmarketswithbruce.ca. That CA means Canada. Head over there. Check out my classes. You may want to learn how to write options and make some money like these other folks are making money. Head over there. You'll get to the homepage. This is what it looks like right here. And then click the classes tab. There it is. Classes. Attention students, classes in session. Get your butt over there and take these classes right here. Start with number 1 and number 2. Move all the way up to 13. One at a time. And learn how options work. I've got all kinds of topics here about the options market, strategies, spreads, poor man covered calls, rollovers. Good gosh, it's everything. Everything you want to need to learn to quit your day job and say goodbye to the boss who's offering you a 5% raise and saying, that's all we can afford to give you. I'm sorry, we really love you. Yeah, that's a pay cut. Thank you anyway. I think I'll move on. Thank you, folks, for joining me today, and catch up with me this afternoon. And let's do this. Let's do this today and see what's going on. Mirko, thanks. We'll do stink offer is set right there to let him take you out at the high price you want. Brian Coyote, 900 a month is not chump change. That's good stuff, and that's his worst month. That's his worst month. Yeah, baby. Have a great one. I'll catch you later today. We're still up 621 on the Dow. GameStop is 2504 down 9. Might give you folks a few opportunities to write new calls at higher strikes, higher prices. And let's rinse and repeat this baby again and again and again. They're handing it to you. Watch for Tesla, 247 down 1779. Keep doing your magic on buying back and writing new ones immediately for more money. Keep an eye open. All right, guys. Beach Boy, Uncle Bruce, October 21, 2625 is written for 208. Should I buy back for 25% profit or wait? I'd wait. I'd just wait right now. Let the stock bandy about here. 2511 right now. No rush at all. Credit Savage, Uncle B. I talked to a guy from work about options for a week, and he did some homework and looked up covered calls. I told him about you, and he just bought his first 100 shares of SoFi, and he's watching you. I'm watching you. Right on. Credit Savage, pal. Right on. Good stuff. Credit Savage saying to Beach Boy, I would wait. Dude, Brian, I've been writing cover calls finally since August, and I've added the equivalent of 2 extra paychecks to my life already. Right on, man. That is awesome sauce stuff. It really is. It's a life changer. When you can double your salary or add 50% to your salary by doing this as well. Do things lighten up quickly? Oh, give it a few months. Yeah. Oh, for sure. If you were getting a paycheck 50% larger starting this week from your employer, you think in about 10 weeks, your life would be a little different than it is the last 10 weeks? I would think so. And if you can then double it and then add to it again, yeah, I would say might be worth your while to look into this. See what's going on. Okay. Gowdy, it sort of blows my mind how little people talk about this. Well, yeah, we're less than 5% of the market does it. It's a real skill and it's a rarity, but we're here. We're a specialty channel. All right, Beach Boy, thanks, Uncle Bruce. I'll catch you later. You bet, buddy. It's all good. I'll catch you later today. We'll play it from here. GameStop right now, officially unchanged at 2513. Let's see what happens. I'll see you today at 3, everybody. Thank you all. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.